So check this out. WWE Divas Champion AJ Lee got into some serious trouble with upper management last week during the taping of their WWE Tribute to the Troops special, which is going to be airing next weekend. Backstage at this event, AJ Lee saw her boyfriend, as you all know, is CM Punk, talking to NBC personality Michelle Bedell, who was on hand hosting the event, and literally freaked the fuck out. Things got very raunchy as AJ Lee went on an explosive and foul tirade at Michelle Bedell. Now, Bedell took to Twitter and had this to say about the incident. Lost another friend to CGFN, crazy girlfriend neutering. It's real, people. Check your buddies. Affects everyone. CM Punk is said to be upset over the incident with company officials over the matter, saying on Twitter, and direct quote, "It's difficult to always try to do business the proper way with a company that refuses to practice the same standards. My God, I really hope that CM Punk was talking about the WWE and not NBC. Really, I wouldn't have commented on this, CM Punk, but hey, to each its own." Now, WWE management is said to be very upset over the incident and are looking to discipline AJ Lee shortly. While she didn't get disciplined at TLC, as we all saw at that pay-per-view event, she retained her Divas title over Natalya Neidhart. Follow that up with the 6 Diva tag team match that we saw her in on Monday Night Raw this week, as she, Tamina Snuka, and Alicia Fox defeated the Bellas and Natalya. Now, on an interesting side note, there's a cartoon that supposedly has been going around backstage in WWE that shows a very young AJ Lee as a little girl, very emotional, meeting her idol, Lita. This was a very critical key moment at that, as it played a huge part in her decision to pursue a wrestling career when she got older. If you folks haven't seen this, you can check it out at WWE.com or YouTube it. So the cartoon of that scene is a reenactment, basically. AJ Lee says to Lita in the scene how she wants to be like her when she grows up, and Lita says, "Well, thank you, sweetie." In the next scene, we see AJ Lee having sex with CM Punk, riding him, and asking that he call her Lita. So much for their anti-bullying campaign, huh? Don't be a bully, be a star. Maybe it should be called "Don't Embarrass Us, 'cause we'll fuck you over." I mean, seriously. You know, if CM Punk and AJ Lee weren't having intimate relations with one another, I strongly believe that she would have lost the title to Natty at TLC. Anyone remember how the cops had came to that SmackDown event earlier this year to arrest Caitlyn for unpaid tickets? This came at a bad time as she was feuding with AJ Lee. Caitlyn was never quite the same after that, as she was kept off TV for a couple of weeks, but upon returning, the rivalry got cold slowly and eventually ended. Relationship-wise, we've heard of stories of divas like Mickie James, Lisa Marie Varoon, Melina hooking up with top guys in the WWE like Dave Bautista, John Cena, hell, even John Morrison. He was kind of moving up there for a hot minute, but you guys get the picture, you get the idea. We've heard of these scenarios where divas have hooked up with the top male stars in WWE, and there's been a scenario or two play out where WWE has had to step in, cool things off to protect those big stars. But never, I don't think, was it a situation due to a diva making a public scene. This really could have been a PR disaster, as WWE has had a long and healthy relationship with NBC for many years. Hell, even currently, as WWE Raw on the USA Network is owned by NBC Universal. Now, I've seen the pics of this Michelle Bedell, and I mean, she looks okay if you're like a common-looking middle-aged woman that's going to yearly make a big Thanksgiving meal, watch your kids get on the school bus for school, go to church on Sundays. You guys get the point. AJ Lee, in comparison, just beats her in the looks department, so why she even exploded the way that she did is very odd. I hear something like this, and it sounds like AJ Lee has become a bit possessive of CM Punk. I'm sorry, but according to my sources, they haven't even been together that long. for her to be acting like this, not unless CM Punk's packing a huge rifle and it's that damn good. If I'm CM Punk, I'm probably going to take this incident as an excuse to end the relationship with her. Punk doesn't need this because, in essence, WWE in their own way can hurt his current position in the WWE to the point we could see him job to guys like Brodus Clay, 3MB, hell, even Fandango on a weekly basis. Punk should really just fly solo, be a bachelor for a good minute, stay away from AJ Lee, stay away from other divas on the roster. I mean, do you guys even know how many relationships Punk has been in? It's been at least 10 from what I can recall. There was retired Canadian wrestler Natalie Slater, Allison Danger, Shannon Spurriel, Tracy Brooks, Maria Kanellis, Kelly Kelly, Lita, and Beth Phoenix. Typically, his relationships have lasted 1 year, maybe 2 years before he moves on to the next flavor. I'm thinking about my previous relationships when I hear this, and it doesn't come anywhere close to Punk's number. But then again, I've always been a very picky son of a bitch. But anyway, yeah, so a lot of relationships here with CM Punk. Every single woman that is single on the roster is going to be eyeing the top guy in the WWE like a CM Punk. Some may genuinely be looking for something serious. Others may be looking to further extend their careers. I had the opportunity to interview primetime Amy Lee several months ago, and she recalled a younger and a very dumb AJ Lee that sucked her way to get to certain spots in the company, to move up in certain promotions. Now, there's no confirming or denying this, but let's look at some of the facts. AJ Lee did drop Jay Lethal like a bad habit once she got with the WWE. Afterwards, she hooked up with Trent Beretta, who, as we all know, was released by WWE earlier in the year before moving on to CM Punk. Now, does AJ Lee really care about CM Punk? She might, after causing a scene like that, or maybe there's a little bit of trouble going on. Maybe she's just insecure. Who knows? One thing I think we all can agree upon, and that's when WWE is embarrassed like this, powers that be are going to strike back. And with this photo that's going around, I think it's only just the beginning. Remember what I said on our post show about Natty and AJ possibly locking up one more time for the Divas title, and maybe it taking place at the Royal Rumble next year, and how Natty could get the job done and get the title. After hearing about this incident, I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Lee were to drop the title to Natty as a result of this incident. This could be followed up by WWE putting AJ Lee in a position where she's going to be embarrassed on main WWE programming in the form of losing to divas like Eva Marie, JoJo, might even be worse. She is not untouchable just because she's with CM Punk. On a side note, I'm very curious who did this cartoon drawing. As we all know, Jerry Lawler, he loves to draw. Might he be the culprit? I still recall several weeks back when AJ Lee had joined Michael Cole, JBL, Jerry Lawler on an episode of Raw as she was providing guest commentating, and her and Jerry Lawler, it really felt like the way they were going back and forth with one another, it was not scripted as they were taking shots at one another. AJ Lee pointing out how Jerry Lawler, he likes the girls really, really young, basically underage. Jerry Lawler kind of snapping right back at her with a little petty counter of his own. I think he said something to the effect of she wasn't attractive or something to that effect. So maybe he be the culprit. Whoever it is that did this whole drawing, they did sign it. Now, if I'm WWE and I hear about this supposed elite cartoon that's floating around backstage, I'm going to try to do some damage control and issue some type of a press release, basically either confirming or denying its existence. They can also follow this up by saying they are looking into the matter and that they will report any findings that they're able to come across, if there's any. But at the same time, they also need to tie it into their Don't Be a Bully, Don't Be a Star campaign, and how it's 100% everything what they're against, as it's rude, tasteless, and downright unprofessional. It just makes good PR, folks, for them to issue some type of a statement. I want to know what you think about this crazy hot mess, so go on ahead, post your comments down below, and subscribe.